Breaking news. Monero has already hit $1,000. And you'd be like, Mav, what are you talking about? Monero hitting $1,000? Are you smoking that dark web boof? No, Monero's already hit $1,000. And in fact, you can go to htx.com right now and check for yourself. You know, the primary way the Chinese buy Monero. You're like, oh, Mav, but the Chinese can't buy Monero. It's illegal in their country. It does not matter if there is a law in place if it's not enforced, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? They accept all forms of deposits, okay? So the Chinese can buy Monero easily. There's also P2P. There is a whole bunch of different ways these countries you think can't get Monero can get Monero. Like, for example, Iran has Monero listed on every single exchange in the entire country. In fact, it is easier for Iranians to buy Monero than it is for the United States people to buy Monero, us Americans, right? And you think about, you know, we're in the land of the free, the home of the brave, and those are just some faraway ragheads, as people like Lindsey Graham and etc. would say. But when we really think about why that is, it might be because a small hat gang doesn't like Monero and sees it as a threat. And hey, it's almost like the Federal Reserve has already admitted to suppressing the price of things, right? They went and they testified in front of Congress and said, hey, yes, no, we suppressed the price of gold in order to make sure the dollar is stable, that doesn't crash to zero, which would destroy the American economy, and rightfully so. Right? Because it's backed by nothing. It's fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, you know? So, if they know Monero is a threat, if they know that the only reason why more people aren't in Monero, more people aren't holding Monero, is because the price action is kind of boring, okay? Now people saw that, hey, Monero hit $1,000. Hey, Monero is at $1,100, right? Because that's what it hit. You'd see FOMO like you've never seen FOMO before. You would see immense amount of eyes, right? You would just see a nonstop issue. It would start climbing like OG Bitcoin. If everyone knew that it hit $1,000, if it was shown on Kraken, if it was shown on whatever, and you know, the people who were able to sell on HTX probably made a fat bag that arbitrage. Because guess what? The Chinese sent that motherfucker. They broke through this price suppression. I don't know how. There was multiple different exchanges showing that it hit $1,000. People sending me screenshots. I was checking. And you know, in fact, some of those exchanges quietly rolled that back and acted like it never happened. They put their hands up like, I don't know. But guess what? We broke through that price suppression. The real all-time high of January was over $1,000. Which means Monero's already hit $1,000. It's just not been shown on Western exchanges because it's not convenient for them. And they want you to get bored. They want you to voluntarily exit the coin. They want, you know, the old narrative to come back that Monero's not a number go up coin. Yeah, collectivism is bad, that you should never hold Monero. It's just digital cash, bro. You should never hold it. Not an investment. Okay, don't look into the coin. Just believe us because we are the influencers that are being propped up right now. Listen, my brother in Christ. Monero, in fact, is a number go up coin. They want you to not believe that it's. They want you to believe that it's impossible, that it's endless inflation. Don't look at it. Don't see that gold has an inflation too, and that it's skyrocketed, and that it was also price suppressed, and that Monero is essentially like gold, like it's the real GameStop, like it's the next AME, right? Because when we realize that, hey, if a whole bunch of apes came together, community, and we changed the narrative, we killed that narrative that, hey, it's not a number go coin, we all believe, we all held, we all bought. We changed the narrative. Everyone else is like, oh my God, Monero is so much easier. Like, there's this gap. And that we've been slowly closing in on this Monero bro cult, Monero Society, join on Telegram. Hey, we could go to $10,000. We could follow the trajectory that Bitcoin did back in the day, right? Because the Bitcoiners, they knew, hey, we have a marketing problem. We are going to scream about Bitcoin down everybody's ear that this is the next global currency. Even the developers of Bitcoin are like, hey, This is a $10 million coin in today's economic wealth measurement. People are like, oh, Mav, Moon Boy, oh, but the trillions of dollars. You are not listening. You are so goddamn stupid, and you just don't want to be rich. And fine, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Listen, okay? Obviously, we're not going to be using the dollar. We're going to be going back, and in 2026 economic wealth measurement, and maybe that goes over your tiny, smooth brain little fucking head, okay? We go back to today, how we measured wealth in the future, right? One Monero in the future will be the equivalent of 10 million US dollars in 2026. I don't understand what these small little pea brains are going on Reddit and on Twitter, like, oh, Math, it cannot be a $10 million per coin because that would mean $100 trillion and I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be a retard. Ugh. Fuck you. Okay? Let's look at this shit objectively. Can we stop having this just like, oh, Bitcoin's the best currency. Oh, Monero's never gonna fly. Oh, it's a stable coin. No, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when we think that. Okay, you think, oh, Monero's not a number go up coin. Okay, great. You're not buying, you're not holding, which means other people are not buying, people are not holding, which is the one thing that's preventing it from skyrocketing, is that stupid narrative that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, which makes it stay niche. Okay, if everyone thought, hey, you know, Monero is an amazing investment. Monero is a number go up coin. Oh shit, Monero is so easy. That information gap is closed. Like, hey, it's not this dark web, hard, Linux, all this bullshit. Oh my God, I can just download a wallet and get it like that. Oh my God, I can see all the exchanges. Oh my God, I could just swap on xmrhub.org. I could just buy Cash App Bitcoin. I can just Litecoin on Venmo, and I can just trade that to Monero on xmrhub.org swap tab very fast and get it sent to my Unstoppable or Cake wallet. It's that easy. Or I can just buy it on Kraken or UEX in the United States and just send it to my wallet or leave it on the exchange. You shouldn't. Always withdraw because they can price suppress with the actual coin. If you withdraw it, it forces number to go up. And then numbers, you know, apes together strong, might I add. Oh, in China, they can buy it on HTX. Oh, in Iran, they can buy it on every exchange. Oh my God, in Russia, they have 40 million exchanges they could use. Oh my God, and they're creating regulatory frameworks so normal people can buy crypto in Russia legally. You know, because people in Russia, people in China, these social sanctioned countries, right? Or countries are like, oh, it's illegal. These laws don't mean shit if they're unenforced, okay? I can write, you are not allowed to pee in the McDonald's restroom, but if it's unlocked, all right, if I really need to go, I could just push the door open and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a law that says, hey, you can't do this. But if I push that door open and I piss in that McDonald's bathroom and nothing happens to me, nothing happens to anybody else, guess what? More people are going to piss in that McDonald's restroom, even though there's a law that says, hey, you cannot do this. If it is unenforced, if they don't drag me out of there with my wiener just all wet and I'm just in a puddle of piss, okay? If I'm not dragged out of that, if nothing happens to anybody else, it doesn't mean shit, okay? And we're going to keep this shit dumbed down on this channel, okay? There's enough nerds in this space. Stop telling me, oh, Mav, you need to be talking about how to run a node, and oh, Mav, you need to be talking about OPSEC and all these other nerdy topics. Okay, listen, everyone has a niche. My niche is bringing in new people, opening the eyes of the scaled retards in this space who don't understand what Monero is, what it will do, and how it's going to change the fucking world and how we're going to get rich doing so, right? Because Bitcoin gave that up. Bitcoin gave up changing the world, all right? They just want number to go up. They just want to be an asset BlackRock and these institutions hold. Okay, they don't care about the small guy. They don't care about the working class. They don't care about becoming a currency. They gave that up, okay? They gave that up a long time ago. That $10 million prediction that, you know, the creators of Bitcoin had, that's out the window. Okay, that's not going to happen. The $10 million prediction was if Bitcoin became the next global currency. They gave that up. They don't give a shit. Bitcoin cannot become the next global currency. Bitcoin cannot hit $10 million per coin, right? If Monero wanted to become the next global currency, right? Because it's really the only one who can. Litecoin can't. Bitcoin Cash can't. Bitcoin can, Ethereum can, none of these other coins can. So if this makes it the top contender, we can hit $10 million per coin. It's just a matter of belief. It's a matter of a network effect. And guess what? These minds, these fluoridated minds, these minds who are interested in Monero, who've heard about Monero, who hear, oh, hey, it's this private freedom money. Just like back in the day, it's why Bitcoin rose so much, is because everyone was telling everybody, hey, it's this private freedom money, this private freedom money, this private freedom money out of control of the banks, out of control of the government. The IRS can't trace it, all these things. That's what we were told about Bitcoin. That's why it rose so much. That's why you had these people like Roger Ver. That's why you had everyone screaming that we're going to end the Federal Reserve, that we're going to end the dollar. And, eventually they got hijacked by Jeffrey Epstein and Blockstream. And, I don't see Bitcoin as cool. I hold no Bitcoin. Okay, if you're watching these videos, you're actually one of the few people who watch these videos. Right, I think we've been hitting all-time high metrics for, engaged viewers that are just like staying throughout the video. So if you're one of those rare people, thank you, I love you. Back to the rambling. But they gave up, and they gave up becoming the next global currency for quick cash. Okay, they could have became so much more rich. Instead, now they have Wall Street laughing at them. Now they think, oh, dude, we got the ETFs, we got BlackRock, we got Sailor, we got all these people. But we're being outperformed by gold. We're being outperformed by a fucking rock. Okay, because gold broke price suppression. If we go back on this chart, we really look at it, we could really see the end of the dollar. Because we all know that gold is price suppressed because the Federal Reserve under oath in Congress has admitted that it was price suppressed, that it is price suppressed in order to protect the dollar. Okay, and if it's flying when it's price suppressed, what do you think the real price of gold and silver is? Really think long and hard of that. And what do you think the worth of the dollar is if people are really wanting gold and silver? It means that we're losing faith in the dollar, which means we're entering a hyper acceleration of the death of the dollar. And now they can throw the weight at it of price suppression of gold and silver. But the cracks have shown, just like how the cracks shown with Monero back in January. You see it flying, and you see exchanges trying to hide it. HTX doesn't hide it. They admit, hey, yes, we did hit $1,100 per Monero in January. These other exchanges, they don't want you to know about it. Look, I watched it. I watched it clear as day on HTX. I saw endless people were sending to me. No one in this space talked about it. No one in Monero. No one on Twitter. It was just me. And it was beautiful to see. I was celebrating. And it never showed up on any other exchange, like in the United States, like UBX or Kraken. And I was like, what? What's happening here? And I was like talking about it. I was like, oh my God. This is truly a threat. If they are really trying to hide this price, this confirms that Monero's price suppressed absolutely. Because if it's price suppressed, that means people get bored. People leave. People go chase meme coins, shitty booty dookie coin for 1,000% gain. People will chase this coin, this coin, this coin. They don't want it repeating the early Bitcoin rise. And it's going to take so much more work than Bitcoin did back in the day. And that's just the honest and cold hard truth. And it's why I grind this shit, right? Because it's going to take a large community. It's going to take a lot of people going all in, holding, buying, and spreading the word of Monero. That's it. You let the smart niggas develop the coin and do what they got to do. And then the most important part, which is telling people about the coin, right? Because if no one knows about the coin, or no one knows about the product also, if we go to marketing, it's just a thing. It's just niche. It's small. The people who need it will eventually find it, but it will forever stay small, right? And Monero doesn't need... Monero doesn't need a narrative. Well, while this is true, you tell people, hey, Monero is this private, fast, cheap to use freedom money that the IRS publicly admits they can't trace, that, all these core documents are like, oh, and an unknown amount of Monero. Oh, this and all that. And I'm like, did people listen to that? They fall in love with it. And then they just have this information gap. They're like, oh, I don't know about Monero. I want to learn more, but it's all complicated, it seems. And that's why I created xmrhub.org, and I made the directory on it. And I have this information, all these blog posts and stuff. And, You know, people love it. People are like, oh my God, it's simple. It's why I'm making these YouTube videos. They're like, oh my God, math. You know, Monero is not that complicated. They're like, oh my God, it's just so easy to understand. I don't know why people in this space were making it harder than it seems. They were LARPing, going, oh my God, oh, you gotta do this and that and this, and you run your own node to send Monero, and you have to have Graphene OS and Linux and VPN and all this shit. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. Okay, I was leverage trading. I had to lose it all 5 to 10 times to finally go all in on Monero in late 2024 at 1:30 after Binance delisting. And then just start posting on Twitter, growing a huge following and getting cleansed over and over and over again in 2025 in order to be here, right? In order to create what I've created. And you know, you listening, you who follow the Twitter, who join the Telegram group chat, who, you know, check out the websites, do whatever. I mean, really all you have to do is just buy and hold Monero in order to contribute and be a part of the community we're doing. It also helps if you subscribe, you like, you comment, boosting the algorithm. But we are changing the world. We are changing the narratives. We are changing the money as we know it. Okay? And now it seems like ambitious. Some people might call that a fallacy. Okay? They might go, oh, you're delusional. Fuck you, I am. We're going to change this world. We're going to get filthy rich doing so. Okay? Fuck the haters. Fuck the doubters. One of the reasons why I'm creating xmarpredictions.com, and listen, I'm not a developer when I say this. I haven't made XMAR Map. I haven't made XMAR Hub. I am the eyes. I'm the visionary behind it all. But I have smart niggas who will make sure that it's not, you know, I'm just not going to get drained. It's not going to get hacked. Developing the thing itself, you know, the code. And the reason why I'm creating xmarpredictions.com, the world's first private prediction market, which is going to have so many different features that Polymarket, Kalshi, any of the competition doesn't have. Because guess what? I am a retard and I understand what people want. I understand that, hey, this feature is missing. The more I study, the more I dive into things, the more I learn, the more I can develop and make it better. The reason why I want to create this is because the money that's made from it obviously going to go to shareholders and investors of the project. And, you know, I haven't really talked about that publicly because we're still raising. And I don't know if I want to raise publicly, you know, frankly, it might get some flack and stuff. And I know it would probably help. We probably get some more investors in, which would help with marketing. So obviously we want a huge marketing budget, a huge push, because with this money, obviously we're going to pay dividends to the investors after a year of operating and having licensed offshore and then eventually in the United States in order to not get our door busted in. Obviously we're going to be blocking US customers. So, but regardless, okay, the reason why I'm building it is essentially for the fact that I want to be able to shove just money at developers. I want to be able to have a defense fund and fight for Monero to be legal. Okay, I want to protect this coin. And obviously, we got to play offense here. Okay, we got to make sure that the coin is fast as shit, cheap as fuck, decentralized, and private as fuck. Okay, these are the 4 pillars of Monero. And those need to be hammered endlessly. We got FCMP++. Okay, that's privacy done. We need it to be faster. Okay, we need confirmations to be way faster. We got to figure out the dev niggas to do that. Cheap. It's already as cheap as can be. You know, it's less than a penny to send. You know, decentralized CPU, whatever. Like it's basically all there. But the legal aspect, we need to make sure that Monero is protected by the law. Okay, that these companies that are dealing with Monero won't be affected. We need lawyers. We need laws enacted. And guess what? With enough money, you can do anything in this world. Okay, you're like, oh, that's not going to happen, but this, but that. Listen, you'd be surprised what happens when you throw enough money at people. And with a prediction market, with a casino, just like I'm launching in the future, this is a huge amount of money that is going to benefit you, that is going to benefit the next guy who holds Monero. Okay, and they don't even have to fucking put any money into the projects that I'm making. They're still going to benefit. Because guess what? I see the strategy, I see everything, and I can't share it all because I don't want anybody to copy me. Even if it is copying me, even if, you know, there has been a lot of copies, and they all fail. They all fail miserably. They try to copy the community. They try to copy my projects. They try to copy me, and they all fail spectacularly because they don't have the vision. They don't have the determination. They don't have whatever it is coming to me that just like, whoosh, whoosh, they can call it the goyim. They don't have the retardation. They don't have the ambition. They don't have the dedication. They don't have the willpower. They don't have the fucking batshit insane craziness, because you realize how much you gotta grind. You gotta fucking you gotta spend so much of your life just dedicated to this thing. And most people are half in lazy. They don't give a shit. With this money from this prediction market, because we're gonna have 5-minute markets, we're gonna have early conviction, which no other market does. Okay, we will dive into that when we finally, release it. Well, maybe before a little bit when we're in the testing phase before we go public, right? We're gonna have a few people off the wait list, off the stage net Monero, actually testing real Monero, and we might fund them. We might send them real money for them to test. Who knows? But with this money, we are gonna start a legal defense fund. We are going to attack viciously to make sure that this coin is legal. And listen, when I say this, I'm not meaning that we're going to change anything with the coin. Fuck that. We are going to do our best. We're going to, alongside development, fight for Monero, right? Because if we have this legal protection, with enough money, you can make anything in this world happen. With this legal protection and an endless flow of money from a gambling economy, from swaps on xmrhub.org, from all these other different avenues that I'm creating and that I have created, we are able to compound it. If Monero is made legal, number go up. Well, it is legal, but different aspects, right? We need it on more exchanges. We need businesses to not have to worry about whether they can accept it or not. We need it to become legal tender in the United States. We need it to do this and that and this and that. And with lobbying, with paying people, with doing these things, and there's only so much I can talk about on here, it is going to have a reverberating effect and a never-ending positive feedback loop. Because once we have these key things that I cannot talk about, I don't want other people copying me. You might be like, oh, Mav, but isn't that like detrimental? What if someone else can do it better? Listen, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. All I know is that my plan for this is very simple. And there's a lot of things I can't say in my plan. But with a large pool of money just coming in, and investors are going to be paid, obviously, all the time in dividends, we might end up buying them out. That money can just be thrown towards helping Monero number go up, right? Obviously, without dampening the project itself, right? We don't want anything of the core project to change. We don't want self-custody to change. We do not want Monero to change, unless it's for the better, right? We want it to be faster without it being proof of stake. Important caveat. And we want it to be private and cheap. That's it. Just hammer at that, and decentralized. That's sort of, an obviously thing. But we're just going to hammer it. We're just going to go, hey, money. And listen, with endless money from like a prediction market, a casino, and just like what the Bitcoiners do, they just fight for the legal. And guess what? That helps. And listen, we're not falling down our knees. Oh, Mr. Regulators, oh, please, oh my God, ETFs. I don't really give a shit about that. All right, I'm here to change the world. And with the number go up equals more people, and more people equals more businesses that are accepting, and those businesses accepting equal, the price being just kind of like etched in stone. Okay, because that existing economy prevents number go down with how big it is. And then people buying, and the number go up. You could dive in more in Mav's economic theory that I recently posted, and it's been getting more and more views because people see that, oh, God, this guy is right. The reason why I smirk, the reason why I'm all is because I know I'm right. I know all these videos are going to age like fine wine. I know I'm right. I don't have any doubt in my brain. All the haters are stupid. Everyone's retarded. Okay, I am right. Whether you like it or not, you can scoff at me, you can laugh at me. Hey, Mav, you're stupid. Hey, you're going to come to my side one day, and you're going to be like, oh my God, Mav, you're so right. You were so right. I can never believe I doubted you for 1 second. I should have gone all in like you told me to. I should have sold my house. I should have remortgaged everything. I should have gone into debt. I should have done bankruptcy. I should have done it again. I should have sold everything. I should have worked 3 other jobs. I should have just thrown everything. I should have sold my wife and kids. Listen, I know I'm right. Listen to me or don't. I don't give a shit. Swap to Monero on xmrhub.org. Super fast swaps, good rates, AML Insured, and you help support me, the channel, xmrhub.org, its projects and everything. And it costs you nothing extra if you swap on xmrhub.org. We get a fee. Once again, costs you nothing extra. And you help support us, which helps support Monero, your investment, everything. So back to the video. It's still insane to me that no one wants to talk about the fact that it hit $1,100. I feel like it's an insane fucking thing that should be talked about everywhere. Price suppression broke. We have concrete evidence price suppression existed and then it broke. And with this, we can break it again. You want to know how we break it next run? We have a stronger community. Look, Monero Society has been growing. It's been growing nonstop, even in a bear market. 100 plus members, 100 plus members, 100 plus members, almost 1,600 members now. Okay, this is going to grow. There's going to be 10,000. There's going to be 100,000. There's going to be 200,000 in there. And these people are going to be self-reinforced, okay? They'd be like, Monero is a number growth coin. You do hold Monero. Monero is an investment. It's also a currency, but it is an investment. It's a store of value, just like gold is, okay? It becomes a never-ending positive feedback loop. These people help these people. They use xmrhub.org. They're learning. They're watching the videos. They're swapping on xmrhub.org. They're using predictions. We're fighting. We're sending that lobby money. We're getting shit enacted. Because guess what? That shit is important too, right? We're doing all the important stuff. We're funding development too. All for the nerds. Obviously, I agree to a certain extent, but we cannot forget the fact that, hey, if we can cuck these regulators, we can cuck these bankers, they won't even realize it. What we're doing, what we're enacting, that prevents them from ever being able to be like, hey, these wallets, on the top of a wallet, Cake Wallet, you need to submit ID, all these things. We have this regulatory framework in place. We have these things in place with all the money that we were just throwing nonstop. We hired lawyers, we did all this shit. But meanwhile, we were doing all these different positive things, but we have all this extra capital. Because guess what? We're going to help. We're not going to buy a mega yacht. We're not going to go waste this money. No, we're going to reinvest in the business. And guess what? Making it legal, making it do all this shit, reinvesting. Because guess what? That's going to have a positive effect. It's going to come money. We're just going to be churned. They're like, Matt, you look fucking retarded. Listen, Matt, I don't know what you're saying. Matt, you're like throwing a football metaphorically at this law, regulation, all this bullshit. Dude, I thought this is permissionless tech. Okay, it is. We don't ask for permission with permissionless tech. Exactly, dude. We're not fucking asking. We are demanding. We're going in the offense, baby. We are doing anything it takes to make this fucking thing take over. And they can't do anything. We're going to cuck them. We got this extra money. Guess what? We're going to go fucking aggro. Okay? We're going to make sure this shit is set in stone. We're not taking any chances. We're going all in. We're doing anything we fucking can to make sure this fucking pulls off. We want $10 million per coin. We want to get rich. We're going to change the world. We're going to tap the ocean depths. We're going to conquer the stars. We're going to do space mining. We're going to fucking be an inter-galaxy fucking species, okay? We are going to make God proud. I don't care if you don't believe in God. I don't care about all this shit. Christ is king, obviously. And listen, might make me lose a lot of followers and maybe even tamper what I'm trying to do, which is to usher in the world's first financial revolution, be the spark, okay? And if that's the price I have to pay, then so be it, okay? The real ones will be there. The real ones will find me, okay? And I might lose a couple fake ones, the ones that never believe that we're never going to get rich anyways to begin with, the ones that are delusional, the ones that are closed-minded. Those people don't get rich in this world, okay? The ones that are closed-minded, the ones who think they know it all, they don't get rich. The people who are open, the people who are willing to learn, those are the people who get rich. People in the closed-minded box, those are the ones who get dementia. Those are the ones who live moderate, mediocre lives at best. But the open-minded ones, the smart ones like you, like the ones who are listening right now, they're going to get rich beyond their wildest dreams. And I want you to do whatever makes you happy with that money. But I also want you to remember that these material things, listen, you might go, Mav, I don't give a shit. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, let me just say my one thing. These material things aren't going to make you happy. They'll make you happy temporarily, but there's still a void right here because you need purpose. Purpose is the most important thing in this life. It can be as small, you can have all the nice things. It can be as small as, hey, I volunteer. Hey, I have my son. That gives me purpose to be a better man for him, to make a better world for him, to do this, to build this cathedral, which will bring in more people to Christ and, you know, be in awe and make God proud. I can do this thing that helps humanity. I can do this that helps this. And listen, we are a social species, okay? Listen, I know a lot of people don't give a shit, and that's why they end up killing themselves and why, because they don't understand that we as a species need purpose. Okay, my purpose right now is ushering in the Monero Revolution. Once that's done and that's completed, obviously, maybe I get into politics, maybe I become a pastor. I wanted to be a pastor as a little child. I don't know. Someone made an off-brand comment like, oh, Mav, if you were a pastor, you know, I would be there every single time. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that was sarcasm. Maybe it was something. I don't know. But I would love to be a pastor once we pull this off. It's not an if. It's not an if we pull this off. It's a when we pull this off. Because if we believe, if we're, you know, we know in our heart of hearts that, hey, this is a $10 million per coin. We know, hey, this is going to change the world. This is going to make me insanely fucking rich. I don't care about any of this naysayers, this FUD, this bullshit that is trying to get me to stop getting rich, changing the world. You know, these people who are doing the federal agent's job for them for free. I'm not going to listen to them. No, we need to shun those people. We need to build our own community. Shun those people. They're gonna starve. They're gonna do their own thing. They're gonna die out. Okay, they're gonna be isolated, and we're gonna build this huge evolving community that crushes those people. Community matters. Okay, and not only does community matter, but narrative is the most important thing in this world. Narrative is the reason why people use the dollar. Narrative is what sent Bitcoin to $100,000 and why it ever took off in the first place. Okay, narrative is one of the most key important things why cryptos rise, why stocks rise, why assets rise, why fiat values rise, why all this and all that and all this and all that. You don't need a grandeur explanation, okay? I trust you're smart. Obviously, you're listening to this videos, you're listening to the King Retard, okay? But we need to make sure that this coin doesn't get hijacked. We need to make sure that people know that this is investment, that it is a number go up coin, that it is going to become the world's next global currency. And I have this plaster on xmrhub.org right there on the hero page, the home of the world's next global currency, right there. Okay, I am doing everything in my power to make sure that this happens. I don't know what more I can do. I can do X Spaces. I can do live streams. I can do interviews. If I don't know if anybody wants to interview me, you know, I had one thing we've been talking here and there. And this other guy I'm supposed to meet in Austin, have coffee or something, and maybe do an interview on his YouTube. So maybe there's two right there. You know, I would love to do interviews. I'd love people to get to better know me, and, you know, get in these other communities and siphon people to me, and then help push number go up and help boost the economies and change the world. You know, that's my whole goal here. And listen, I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I have to sit there in a suit and go talk to these higher up people and play this mental game and this chess and throw money at people and stuff. Because listen, people are like, oh my God, they're not going to want to do that. Okay, these millionaires, these billionaires, they're not going to do that. They don't care. They're safe. They're comfortable. They don't have purpose. My purpose is ushering the world's first financial revolution. Okay? Because I'm an American, right? We literally founded America as a revolution. We were done with the tax. We were done with overtaxation. Just like today, we're overtaxed. Okay? We are done with the bankers. We are done with the usury. We're done with the inflation. We're done with the endless wars funded by your tax dollars. We are done with Israel. We're done with mass misery, mass murder. We are done with it all. We're flipping the tables, just like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ did. We're done. We're spilling the tea virtually, okay? We're fucking the bankers to death. They're dead. They're done. Dunzo. We're done with the bailouts. We're done with the confiscation. We're done with the asset seizures. We're done with financial buying. We're done with it all, okay? That's it. Game over. More people need to think about that. More people need to go on. More people need to study Monero. The more you study Monero, the more bullish you become. Many people will try and cope, being like, oh, man, it must have been an error when it hit $1,100. But listen, it was not an error because they hit that on multiple exchanges. And now they went back and they erased it, and that's only on HTX. But Monero is a threat. You got to realize that. Monero is not only a threat to the dollar, but to Bitcoin itself. Bitcoiners they get very angry, they get very scared when you mention Monero because they know it's a threat. They laugh when you bring up Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. They're like, dude, okay, yeah, oh, Ethereum, oh, fucking Litecoin. Okay, let's look at the fucking chart. Oh, Bitcoin Cash, yeah, sure, buddy, okay.
Monero, why are you bringing that up? Bitcoin's number one.
They freak out. They're like, oh my God, dude, why would you bring her up? These exchanges too. If Monero takes off, black swan of crypto. They're not going to make money off fees trading these shit coins, these diddly dookie coins. So obviously law enforcement's like, hey, the Federal Reserve's like, hey, we need you to suppress the price of this. We need people to voluntarily exit the coin. We can't ban it. We can't do anything. But you know what we can do? We can make people want to leave the coin themselves. Just keep it low. Just no insane number go up. None of that. Just keep it low. Just have the influencers repeat the mantra that Monero is a number go up coin. You know, tell them you don't need to hold it. You know, just use it. It's just there. You're going about it's hard to use and all this FUD and all this stuff. Because if people realize that, hey, this is everything Bitcoin was supposed to be, we're fucked. We're so fucked. It is so over if more people wake up to this and they squash the bullshit beliefs that people have pushed on them in the space that have held back the coin. This crypto casino bullshit, the fees and stuff we're making, it's all gone. It's all poof, gone, fugazi. So not only is Monero a threat to the bankers, the Bitcoiners, the exchanges themselves, right? But the global monetary system, all the bankers are fucked. The dollar is going to zero. The yuan is going to zero. The yen's going to zero. It's all going to zero. All of it's going to zero. Monero is going to take over. You're going to go to everywhere in the world and you're going to be able to pay in Monero. It's going to be priced in XMR. That is my prediction. That is my belief. That is my promise. Okay. $1,000 was just the start. We're going to see $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 because more people are going to see Monero price action, right? We're going to break through that price suppression. We're building a large community. We're changing narratives, which is the most important thing. Okay, we're telling people about Monero. It's one of the most important things. We're closing the education gap, XMR Hub, my YouTube channel. We're closing that gap, okay? More people from this YouTube channel have been joining the Monero Society Telegram. You should too. 1,500 members and climbing. I'm going to keep promoting that because it's very important for our community, for our mission. Okay, if you want to get rich, join that Telegram. View it, comment, please. If you're a noob, you don't know what to say, just say hi. You know, ask your stupid. It's never going to be a stupid question. You know what? Because we're always going to help you. We're never going to laugh. We're going to laugh and do all this stuff and all that. But if you ask a question, no one's going to laugh at you. You know, we're going to fill you out. And once you're like, we're going to really fuck with you, you're going to fuck with us. It's going to be fun, bro culture. Enjoy. But, you know, if you want to get a Make Tax Fraud Great Again hat, go to xmrhub.org shop tab. We've had a few orders, you know, here and there. But this is one way to support the channel, support the mission, support the goal of $10 million per coin alongside swapping. Get yours today, baby. I love it, dude. I gotten some fucking dirty looks at the gym. People think it's a Trump hat, and I'm like, dude, Read the slogan. Make tax fraud great again, baby. That should be Monero's slogan, frankly. Because, dude, gold, it's so easy. Cash, it's so easy. Monero is so easy, okay? You know, the amount of crime that is committed by people with the dollar every single day. Dude, Jeffrey Epstein being able to use JP Morgan Bank to traffic endless children, to do endless things, evil, unrestricted, okay? Wells Fargo, endless shit they did. Bank of America opening up millions of accounts in people's names just to make shareholders happy. Okay, there's a million examples of the traditional financial system of people abusing it. You know, these banks also bank the cartel, okay? They do all this stuff. They take that drug money, they clean it. Guess what? The Swiss also, they help with tax evasion. All these different fucking things. Listen, Monero's not, Monero's a currency. It's going to be used for that. It's going to be used for your morning coffee, donating to the church, snorting cocaine. Like everything the dollar can do, Monero's going to do. And it shouldn't be villainized for that fucking thing that the dollar already does. Okay? You can't stop people's bad habits. I mean, the banks enable it. I just find it very hypocritical that people like to shit on Monero, but they will not acknowledge the fact that the dollar is used for evil and all this villainization stuff every single day, worldwide. You can't stop it, okay? You have to change the society structurally. These bad habits are coming from inequality. It's coming from the fact that the bankers print a whole bunch of money, which devalue the dollar that everyone's bleeding for, dying for, working their the ET to the bone for. You have to make sure people are getting paid well. You got to make sure that our nation isn't just sending a whole bunch of money to a foreign hostile nation that seeks to enslave humanity and calls us cattle. And that sees our purpose as serving them, that they are chosen, that they are the true supremacists of the world. And they try to say, oh, hey, white supremacist, all this stuff. And it's really just an admission to who they are. And you know exactly who they are, the small hat gang. We're going to break that price suppression, baby. $1,100 is nothing. You think that's a lot? Wait till we're $10,000 a coin. Wait till we're $100,000 a coin. Wait until we end banking. Wait until everything is priced in Monero. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's coming. It's happening. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe in it or not, you're going to slowly see the price rise. You're going to see snaps. You're going to see leveling. You're going to see snaps. You're going to see leveling. You're going to see snaps. Leveling. And maybe you didn't go all in at $400. Maybe you held off. You're like, oh, math, well, you know, it went down to like 390, 380. Oh, I sold. I'm out. It's not going up as high. You're going to look back in a few years when it's extremely fucking high. You're going to be like, God damn it. Just like the people who faded Bitcoin back in the day. All these anti-Bitcoiners, you know, they didn't get rich. All these anti-Monero bros, they're not going to get rich. Same mantra, same story. Except for Monero's not going to get hijacked like Bitcoin was. There's no Monero 2.0. There's not going to be a second chance. 3 strikes, you're out. Just like the last video I said. 3 strikes, you're out. Dunzo. Gunzo. How we break price suppression? Number 1, you buy as much as you can and you withdraw it from an exchange in a wallet. Okay, number 2, you join the community, which helps other people get into the coin, number 1, understand it. Not on a nerd level, where you know where to buy it, how to get it, what they should do. Help reinforce them being like, yes, go all in, you hold it. Okay, that is community. You need to join Monero Society on Telegram. A whole bunch of like-minded brothers, 1,500 members and growing. Number 3, change the narrative. Changing the narrative is so important. Because if people believe that it's not a number go coin, then they're not going to get rich, that you shouldn't hold it. That becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's just a negative snowball. Lastly, more people need to learn about Monero. We need to be screaming this from the rooftops. We need to be doing anything we can to close the gap. All right, so my video, I guess, paused. I ran out of storage on my phone. Very annoying, very frustrating. I don't remember where I was at. It stopped, and I guess I rambled for another like 30 minutes. So I guess this video would have been like over an hour. So I guess I'll end this video here. I don't remember. I probably missed a good chunk, good portion of things that were probably really, really important. So follow me on Twitter, XMR Void and XMR Scott. Follow XMR Hub on X right here, XMRHub_org. Swap on XMRHub.org. It helps me, helps the channel, helps XMR Hub and its projects. And check out the directory too. All the affiliate links help development, help the channel, help push Monero. Join the Telegram, Monero Society. We have 1,500 members and growing. One of the most important things in Monero, which is helping change the narrative. You know, we're helping other people that join. You know, a lot of people from the YouTube videos have been joining the group chat too, and it's been amazing to see. You know, those people who have been, you know, watching these videos to the very end and have been listening to me are going to be insanely rich. The people who are joining the Telegram, the people who are going all in on Monero, they're not going to regret it. In fact, and if you do not go all in, you are going to regret it deeply, just like those anti-Bitcoiners did back in the day. Just like the people who are like, oh, I wish I could go back in time and buy Bitcoin, and I wish I didn't sell it, and I wish I would have did this and that and this and that. But then the same people will shit on Monero. They'll repeat the same thing that happened. And you know, most people are going to fade Monero. And in a few years, these videos are going to be aged like fine wine. You're going to regret not going all in, but I know you're smart. Okay, you know the truth. You know this coin is insanely valuable. You know in your heart of hearts that I'm right because you're smart. You know everything I'm saying is right there. It's obvious. You know it. You know it in your heart. I didn't have to tell you that. You knew that. Okay, I'm just helping removing the blinders off your eyes. You're blinded with greed, blinded chasing number go up with shitty dookie bookie coin with 1,000%, not understanding that the real Bitcoin took a while. Bitcoin back in the day, it took a long time. There were a lot of haters. But when it finally got to that boiling point, thousands of percent, no different with Monero. Not at all. So, like and comment. That helps boost the algorithm, helps boost the video. My videos have been getting more views. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for all the support and all the love. And I see people commenting, boosting, and actually watching the videos. And I really appreciate you guys. I really love you guys. And I'm so grateful that people want to listen and people actually care and people do believe in what I say. You know, people see what I'm trying to do, that I'm fighting for Monero adoption, number go up, establishing these economies, building these projects that are bringing people in and stuff. Because we all know the community is important. We're closing that gap, that education gap with Monero Hub. Okay, we got a Learn tab. You send to people. We got blogs going on. We got everything consolidated into one project. And then we're building, you know, an economy for Monero, a private prediction market, xmrpredictions.com. And you know, with that money, guess what? We're only building Monero. We're fighting for that legal adoption. We're fighting for all this stuff. We're never going to change the core aspects of the coin, but we're fighting for it. We're fighting for it. We're doing anything we can by any means necessary in order to make sure this coin takes over as the next global currency. Any means necessary. We're going aggressive. We're going attack mode. We're overthrowing the bankers. Okay. We're pulling the rug from them. We're taking out debt. We're doing all this stuff. We're just sucking the money into the void because Monero is a void, right? XMR is a void. But yeah, subscribe. I don't remember if I just said that, but just subscribe helps the channel, obviously. And is that all? If you want to see your chat pop up on screen, send me a chat, an XMR chat. I will eventually, we're going to have a sit down at the end of the video when we read them all. And I don't think there's really been, I think there's been 2 recently. And I've been trying to save them until we get some more in there, and we're gonna read it at the end of the video. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make a little thing. At the end of the videos, we're gonna read the chats. Have your message pop up on screen. You're gonna be etched into eternity because these videos will age like fine wine. Because guess what? You know in your heart of hearts this is the real Bitcoin. Now, do you want clout? Do you want to send a penny and tell me, hey, Mav, you are so stupid. I watched to the end of this video. You are one of the biggest goyim in the entire world. Okay. But you son of a bitch, you're going to pull it off. I believe in you. I love you, Mav. I love you too. Guess what? Till the next video, Mav.